And then lastly here, Tyler, actually, I was interested in what you and I were talking about pre-show. Last night you were on the Coach's Show with Coach Gino, one of our flagship programs that we've been holding since tackle trading was a thing since the very, very beginning. That was our first webinar we always put out there. And you and Gino broke down a trade on GDX that, I think is at least interesting. And I wanted you to talk a little bit about that. Coach Gino was talking potentially about a naked put. And I think if you're going to do anything with GDX here, you have to start with one very simple assumptions. If you're selling naked puts, it should be for boomerang style, for ownership, for long term. It means that you probably want to own this for years and years and years and years, is what I would guess. If somebody's doing it that way. But give me a daily or even like a long term, weekly or monthly chart. I think it's in an interesting spot. Walk me through this idea, Tyler.
Yeah, the first thing I would say is anytime you see a coach or just a trader bring up a chart that you thought, oh, that thing's left for dead. I thought we were staying away from gold because gold's terrible, blah, blah, blah. It makes you think, it says, oh, maybe I should rethink completely writing off something and maybe look at it differently and realize that at some point, everything that gets beat up becomes an opportunity, right? You'll see that in tech over the next couple of weeks or months.
Yep.
And so it was just a reminder that one trader might come and look at GDX and be like, oh, I'd short the crap out of that. And yet Gino and I are talking about it last night, like, all right, I'm now tempted to buy the thing. And what's a strategic way to use options to do that if I like it longer term? And so all downturns, unless the thing goes out of business, are eventually buying opportunities. And it's just a matter of when is it worth pouncing. So the premise on this, you look at the weekly chart of GDX, and the first thing, and credit to Gino, he's the one who brought this up. The first thing is, percentage wise, this peaked at 45.78. It's at 31.35, down $15 on 45.78. It's down a third. It's been cut by 30, almost 33%. So this is deep in a bear market, right? Conventional wisdom, 20% is the threshold. You're down 30% plus. Gold miners are in a bear market. Well, do you think they're going to go down 40%, 50%, 60%, 70%? I mean, at some point, that drop in gold is priced in, and the assumption is they start to become more attractive. So you look at this long-term chart, you look at some longer-term support zones, you see one right around where it's currently at. We were also looking around this 26 level. And so you look at these longer term support levels and you say, at what point am I interested in getting my foot in the door and getting some exposure, right? And yes, let me add the 200 real quick here, because you can also look at longer term moving averages to get a sense of where buyers may show up as well, right? I don't know why the 200 didn't come on there automatically, but let's see. Let's put that in green. Okay, so you've also got the 200 weekly coming in around 26.5. So the idea was, I don't want to be a hero and say it's going to bottom at 31. That'd be pretty gutsy. But what if I say it's going to bottom somewhere between here and 26? Or what if I say I'm willing to pick up some shares around 27, 26? You look at the longer term chart, you build a case for where it makes sense to get involved, and then if you know how to use options, you do something like selling a naked put. You get paid for your willingness to buy GDX at a steep discount. So I'm going to pivot to that here in a second. Tim, did you have any other thoughts on the chart?
No.
I do. When you're looking at GDX in this environment, a couple things. Number one, I do not like boomerang trades here. Like, boomerang trades are not great in volatile conditions where, no, I like selling to own.
Mm-hmm.
Selling to own. Boomerang is selling to own to write covered calls.
To do covers, yeah.
It's a position trade. It's not an investment strategy. You're looking to get in and out, and you're looking to maximize cash flow. GDX, you're looking to own here, right? And so I love the breakdown on the analysis on the weekly chart. And Ty, when you were talking about it, earlier today, I was looking at it as well. And when you're selling to own, you got to find that level that you're comfortable with, right? And this is the perfect time to sell to own on GDX, quite frankly, because you are down 33% over the course of the last few months. And and yes, are they going to go out of business? no, this is a gold mining ETF. They're not going out of business. We're good there. So it's a matter of, okay, where do you feel you have real good value, right? Well, personally, I feel you do have fundamental value already. I feel you have that at 30. I feel you have that at 27. I feel you have that at 25. I feel you have that at, quite frankly, 35. I don't think there's a fundamental equation here that I personally need to overcome, right? So I'm comfortable there. So you then look at the technical component and say, okay, what level on that chart do I just love this? And quite frankly, I love anything above 25. Like that was my line, anything above 25. And I was looking at 26 and 27 specifically in terms of strike prices, Ty, because that got you that 25 level. And again, I don't love it under 25. I love anything above 25, 26, 27. You know, I love that 26, that right there, that support level, Ty, that 26 on the weekly chart that you were looking at. You got 25 as the backdrop to kind of give you a little bit of range underneath 26. I love 26. I also love 27 with 44 days left in the contract as well. Where's your head at there?
Yeah, so this is where you can kind of decide. It's a trade-off. You go closer, you get paid more, but you got to buy it quicker. You go further away, you get paid less, but you got more room for error. So this is what Matt's kind of talking out loud, thinking out loud is, where do I land? Where do I land?
Yeah.
So certainly it can vary depending on trader A goes a little more aggressive at the 27 strike, trader B goes at the 26. But the minimum is you're going to have like, what is the minimum I'm willing to accept? You know, because at a certain point, it's just not worth it. So they got to pay me enough to make it worth it in the first place.
At 26, Matt, oh, go ahead, Ty.
I was going to say, this is where you want to look and see what is the margin requirement. If I sell the 26 for $25, they're going to make me put up 260.
Yeah.
For heaven's sake, that's a 10% return. For me, that would be sufficient, right? If it was a 2% return, I'd say, nah, forget it. 10% for me on this type of strategy is actually really good.
Well, and Ty, you're getting a 10% ROI on an 11 delta contract at a strike price at 26, where it's at a historical level that you love.
Yeah.
And again, you have all of these are really good numbers, but they're really good numbers because of where GDX is relative to its historical chart.
Right.
Those are why it's really good numbers. I love this trade if you're looking to get into gold. I love it because you're again, you start this with, we're down 33%, gold's out of favor, it's lost all its shine. I promise you that pain's going to end sooner than you think.
Yeah.
Right.
And the only thing I would add, just from a timing perspective, is you'd say, well, when do you pull the trigger? Well, I think we've already established it probably doesn't even matter if you really are willing to buy it at 26.
You do it today.
Yeah.
Listen, if you wait for it to bounce off these lows and goes to 33, you're not selling the 26.
Yeah.
Well, and give me like a 10.
If you like the 26 strike price, you sell it today.
Yeah.
That's when you do it. If you're hesitant, you're like, well, I don't know, then you wait for a little bit more price action. But to me, it's like, no, you're selling a naked put on an instrument you want to own. Like, don't make it complicated.
And it's already oversold. It's not like it's up at resistance, looking like it's going to roll over. It's already gotten smacked a decent amount. So yeah.
Yeah,
Agreed.
and I also think you have some short-term support around 30 to 31 too. That's going to give it a little bit of short-term help too. So,
and you do have some confirmation. Yesterday was a green candle. This morning's sell-off got bought. I mean, there are some signs that buyers are emerging here.
Well, and specifically, we haven't talked about gold in conjunction with this, but gold at 1680 has major support.